Momentum does not sustain itself. They say one of the most difficult things for any sports teams is back-to-back championships. Getting everything on a team to come together for a season is an incredible challenge. Making it happen 2 seasons in a row is close to impossible. Yet occasionally it does happen. Recently, the New York Yankees was able to do it. So did the Denver Broncos. More often, a team reaches the pinnacle and then fades back into the middle of the pack. Why is this? Because the players on the team think that once they've made it to the top, they can just relax, hit the cruise control button, and stay in the same position. But that's not how life works. Momentum never sustains itself. King Solomon believed that momentum that his father created would have been enough to sustain him for his throne. He would have been in huge trouble if he relied on that. His father gave him momentum that he needed to have a good start as a king. There's no doubt about that. But to keep momentum going and to increase it, you have to make your own contribution. It doesn't mean just because you're born wealthy, you will stay wealthy. It doesn't mean just because you're born poor, you're going to stay poor. And in the same, it doesn't mean just because you're born smart, you're going to stay smart, and that if you're born dumb, that you have to stay dumb. What does it take to sustain momentum? How does a team keep winning? What is the key that makes it possible for an organization to keep momentum going? The answer is not what, but who, and that's the leader. It takes a leader to sustain momentum. A leader must deal with these critical issues to sustain momentum. To keep an organization going with positive momentum, a leader must possess, number one, a willingness to accept responsibility for the organization's momentum. Most leaders are happy to accept responsibility when an organization is succeeding. However, when an organization is not doing well, that is a different story. The truth is, no matter whether the momentum is positive, negative, or if there is no momentum, it's still the leader's responsibility. I've observed that leaders are most likely to excuse themselves from the responsibility of an organization's momentum when they first begin leading it, because they're often facing issues they didn't create. They didn't dismiss or ignore them. If the issues happen to be momentum killers, that's the problem. But no matter what, it starts and ends with the leader. I listened to a lecture from Olin Hendricks. He's the CEO of Leadership Resource Group. He mentioned that after you've been in charge for an organization for 3 years, every problem is your problem. Sooner a leader owns up to the responsibility of sustaining momentum, the sooner he will start doing something about it. For many of you, just starting out to build your teams, you're facing problems that were carried over by previous leaders. When you step into this leadership role, just welcome the challenges and face that momentum issue as something that you need to make as your priority. Second point, in order to sustain momentum, is a willingness to direct momentum instead of letting it direct the leader. Momentum has always a direction. Most people in an organization are carried by that momentum and have little impact on it. But leaders cannot afford to surf momentum. They must steer it. Another example that I think of when I hear this is the relationships that I'm in personally. I'm married, Camille's my wife, and if we do not make it our business or our priority to focus on this relationship, then whose priority is it going to be? If it matters, there needs to be resources invested in it. Time, talent, treasure to maintain that item. That's why I always ask now, is this on your schedule? Because if it's not on your schedule, either A, it's not important and we need to phase it out, or B, it is important and you need to shift to doing this. Otherwise, the inevitable will occur. Before Solomon became the king of Israel, an outstanding military leader in the form of David created the nation's momentum. David had established a stable administration which enabled their country to move from a judgeship to a kingdom. different rules and regulations, more democratical, and better check and balances all over. Third item, a willingness to be enthusiastic at all times. There's this favorite quote related to this. It's also by John Maxwell. Your attitude determines your altitude. How high your attitude is how high you will go in life. This doesn't mean that you have to be the most energetic and lively person in the room. I am not that way. I'm more reserved and keep to myself. But otherwise, you've got to be the one thinking of the big picture. And if you're not naturally enthusiastic, just know that at least be there for your team to coach them and move them forward. Because at the very least, what each and every person can use and needs in their own life is somebody to encourage them. That's the culture we want to have here, where it doesn't matter what background you're from, who you know, what you've done, the mistakes you've made in the past, and where you're going. If your values align with us here and you want to be financially independent, you want to achieve financial freedom, to be able to do and focus on an industry that you love using digital marketing, then this place is for you. Mark my words. And I've seen this in the 15 years that I've been in digital marketing. It doesn't matter what you are into. Digital marketing can help you achieve that lifestyle freedom. My family is benefiting from that today. Our core leaders are able to move towards that lifestyle in terms of working from home, having a balance between family life and personal life and your career. So that career work-life balance is possible. What I want to address this 2023 is your financial incentives for you to be able to see and feel that income and earnings. Whether you earn an extra 100 pesos or an extra 100,000, either way, that is something that's going to happen this year. And then decide, see what you can do with these extra earnings. Because if you don't want to make the money, somebody else needs it. And you can become a channel to just donate that money to charity at the end of the day. See what that feels like. For some personality types, remaining enthusiastic is easy. They're naturally bubbly. They're able to display that. For others, it's not easy. These are the practices that I use in order to keeping my leadership positive as much as possible, because I'm not a naturally positive person. I don't like to hear complaints. That's not my thing, but I'm working on that. And it's something that can be worked on. So here's what I believe. The work that I'm doing is most important. My mission, my vision, and my actions need to be in alignment. It's easy to stay excited when what you're doing really matters. If that's not moving and emotional enough or relatable to you, then think about your friends and family. People made sacrifices for you to be able to be here today. These are examples of miracles. Miracles over time, I believe the definition has been really lost and obscured. Miracles we now understand, or what's popularly known as something it's impossible, but it happened. And these things, it's once in a blue moon that a miracle can happen. I think the complete opposite. Miracles happen every single day. We just need to see it. The fact that you woke up, the fact that you still have a job, and that our business is still doing well when we're still in a global recession currently. Take a look at the things happening around you and start to view those as a miracle, and you'll have a deeper appreciation for life. The second thing to think about is if you have people in your life that were very positive in your upbringing, then that applies to you. But then there's other people like myself and some of you as well that didn't have very many positive people. I was bullied growing up because I was different. We were financially challenged. I could barely speak English well, and in my Filipino also struggled growing up. So I didn't really have a place. I was adopted. My parents weren't really around. So during school activities, I didn't have them there. I didn't even have a representative. So I ended up growing up with a lot of resentment. And so it was more about showing the haters and the people that humiliated me. It became more about one day I'm going to get revenge and show them that I'm going to be successful. And that's a very crude form of motivation. But if that's where you need to start, to be able to prove people wrong, to show them that you are somebody and you can be somebody, then use that. Just note over time, don't refine that motivation into something that is more meaningful for you. Where instead of a revenge and I'll get you back scenario, what can you do to inspire somebody else? Or how can you become a better person in your own life? Second thing that I think about, the people that I work with are the best in the world, and I draw inspiration from their lives. These are the people that I put at the forefront of my lifestyle is amazing. How can they reach this level of lifestyle? How can I clear the lane? How can I give them projects? How can I give them challenges so that they can go from here into that next level? I place a high value on everyone that I work with. I expect the best from them and they give their best. It's a win-win situation. For some people that I work with, I don't like. They are, putting it lightly, corrupt, they lie, they cheat, they steal, but I'm not a judge. I have my own fault. It doesn't mean just because I don't steal as much as they steal, I don't lie as much as they lie, I don't hurt other people as much as they do, it doesn't justify what I'm doing as okay, and it doesn't give me a reason to judge others. I don't focus on their fault, and I don't even rely on them and their own personal interests. I focus on the good in that other person. That's what I'm counting on. I know this person lies, cheats, steals, probably even kills people. I can't rely on that, but I know that there is a fraction, there is even a spark of light and goodness in that person. We're all human at the end of the day. That's what I am banking on. That's what I focus on. And in those moments that we've beaten the odds, it's because that's what we counted on. And the other person, my enemies, my haters, my scammers, and my detractors, when we reach that moment, they tell me up front, and I've had a handful of these stories. I didn't think I could work with you because we sit on opposite sides of political parties, but you never made that an issue. I never felt that we were an adversary, even though I know we wear different colors and that we fight for different teams. It became about the mission. What are we trying to do together? And I sensed that all you focused on me was me doing the right thing. And I never thought I could do the right thing, but it made it easier that somebody else believed in me that I could do the right thing. So for once in my life, I tried it. Those are some of the most life-changing conversations and super fulfilling ones that I've had. But it doesn't make it easy because, again, you have to be able to focus on that. And that's not what we naturally gravitate to. Third characteristic in terms of a willingness to be enthusiastic, expect the results to be positive. In everything in life, there is always positive, negative, and neutral. Scientifically, that's scientific fact. Spiritually, there's always left, right, and the middle. It works the same way. So why not just expect positive results? There's always going to be something to improve, but let's focus and expect on the positive results. Because if we fall short, then at least we're moving in the right direction. For the most part in life, you get what you expect. Expect the best, and occasionally, am I surprised? Yes, but even then, I'm just as often surprised by better results than I am than worse results. I have yet to meet a leader who has a negative attitude who can sustain positive momentum. I have yet to meet millionaires and even billionaires that don't maintain positivity in their life. They might not look it in the media, but deep down inside, they maintain positivity because how can you complain when you're winning? How can you complain when life is working your way? How can you complain when you're able to manifest good thing after good thing and get to a point in your life where risk has been eliminated and you can just create and enjoy your financial freedom? If you have leadership responsibility for an entire organization or a handful of people, you cannot ignore the impact of momentum. If you have it, then your people will be able to accomplish amazing things that you never thought possible. If you don't, then even the smallest task will seem impossible and difficult. As the leader, you have to make the choice to have it. The question for reflection is, are you gaining or losing momentum?